KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're live on YouTube right now, so make sure you check out the video simulcast of the show at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMokelly. Let's say you can't get on YouTube. You might be able to get on Instagram at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMokelly. Got a big show tonight. Got a big show. And what I mean by that is a lot of pithy issues to sink our teeth into. You know how they were talking about possibly allowing people to drink in public in Santa Monica? Well, that's going to become a reality. That passed yesterday. Santa Monica City Council passed it. We'll talk about that next segment. And if you're like me, you probably grew up loving thrifty ice cream. And it used to be you would get thrifty ice cream at Rite and other places. Now, there's a question as to whether we will be able to get thrifty ice cream because more and more Rite Aids have been set to close. We're going to tell you where they're closing and whether that impacts how you get thrifty ice cream going forward.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. I remember thrifty ice cream when it was only 15 cents a scoop. It's like maybe $1 now or something like that. I don't know. It's not much. And whenever I go, it's cookies and cream. But the last two Rite Aids that I would go to get thrifty ice cream, they've been since closed down. We'll talk about that at the bottom of the hour. And did you hear about the story where a SoCal DoorDash driver tried to cheat DoorDash out of $2.5 million? We'll tell you about that. And the nice exercise lady will be back with us at the top of the second hour, Claudine Cooper. We're going to talk about all things teen wellness when she joins us. It's Wednesday. Tiffany Hobbs joins us in studio. In fact, she's already here. I don't know why she's here so damn early. Why is she here so early?
She's recording an interview for Saturdays with Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just outed her, but okay.
I mean, she's,
just like you, Mo, doing? Never not working.
Yeah. Well, I look, I'm not going to hate the work ethic. I didn't know why she was here. So
all your proteges work hard.
All right. Except for, I won't say that.
Ice cream was 5 cents when you were a kid.
5 cents?
Yeah. 15 cents was a triple.
I remember 15 cents. So, I mean, at one point, it may have been 5 cents, but I'm just saying, I don't remember it being 5 cents.
75, it was.
Talking about thrifty ice cream.
5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents.
And when was it 15 cents for a triple back in 75?
75, yep.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and Tuala, we're going to put this whole Waymo thing to bed once and for all.
You may think so.
Once and for all.
May
Tonight,
think so.
We're going to tell you about how more than 1,200 Waymo taxis have been recalled. Why, Mark Rodder? Do you know why?
Let me see if I can guess. They're unreliable?
No, minor crashes. My problem is, wait a minute, you're recalling 1,200 vehicles over minor crashes that you clearly did not report to the public, okay? So they were gaming the system. They had this false sense of reliability. They're not trustworthy.
This is absolute hogwash. I put this on the Run the Show for a reason. This story does not in any way damn the process of Waymo.
No, any recall of 1,200 cars because of crashes is not
I can't
news.
wait. When are we talking about this?
Oh, it's going to be bottom of the third hour.
Okay, let's go.
I'm just letting you know.
Between now and then, can we find out if Waymo has given Tuala a luxury jet?
I'm not a president of any such country that could accept a jet.
Yeah, but you could be bribed. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Look, there's no bribery needed. This story actually vindicates itself. I'm ready for you.
Look, you must be the Ministry of Information if you think that a 1,200 vehicle recall is somehow good news.
Hey, you know what? It is. This actually is.
And we're going to close out the show tonight with my final thought regarding Pete Rose and his removal from the permanently ineligible list to being able to be considered for Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Doesn't mean that he's going in, but a huge hurdle has been crossed. He could be in the Hall of Fame before the end of this calendar year. We'll close out the show with my thoughts on that. So there's so much to discuss There's so much that I need to do to make sure that Tuala is wrong tonight regarding Waymo. There's so much we got to talk about regarding drinking in Santa Monica, Rite Aid, Thrifty Ice Cream, health and wellness with Claudine Cooper, the viral load with Tiffany Hobbs, and of course, Pete Rose. That's all coming up tonight. And be sure you check out
too much good stuff.
Our live video feed on both Instagram and YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly. And make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like. So when you come back each and every night, because I know you will, it'll be easier to find the show. You won't have to search. It'll just come up in your subscribe places as far as YouTube, the channels that you want to watch. It makes it so much easier. It's so much better. And it's an interactive show. You will have Carnisha, who's managing the YouTube chat. She'll be responding on behalf of me. I will be responding. Tuala eventually will jump in there and respond. I know Stefan is in there responding. Tiffany Hobbs from the Viral Load will be in the chat as well. Claudine Cooper will be in the chat. So it's a good way to not only hang out with us, but to talk to us. You can't do this anywhere else. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. We're live on the iHeartRadio app. And I've never been a real fan of public drinking. I personally think you should do it in your house. I think you should keep it in the bar. I think you should keep it in the restaurant. That's just me personally. Yes, I've been to Vegas many times, and I see people walking around with their beverages going from casino to casino. It's not a foreign phenomenon to me. I'm just not a fan of it because I get to see people at their worst with liquor in their system, and you're giving them a level of freedom to do even worse than what they already were planning to do. And I mention that because Santa Monica officials have passed the public drinking zone proposal for 3rd Street Promenade. And if you've lived in LA your whole life, you probably have been to, like me at least, you've been to 3rd Street Promenade. It used to be very happening back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a great place to shop. They had nice evening restaurants. You could go get something to eat. They had some night spots as well. You could hang out. I used to promote some clubs over in 3rd Street Promenade, so I had a reason to be over there a few times a month. It was really cool. And then in recent years, it started dying out. And I understand why Santa Monica wants to revitalize 3rd Street Promenade. I just don't know if this is going to be the way to do it. The 3rd Street Promenade, with the approval of this proposal, will let visitors sip alcoholic drinks as they stroll through downtown. Santa Monica City Council last night approved the designation of Santa Monica's entertainment zone to allow folks 21 and over to purchase alcoholic drinks from licensed and participating businesses and consume it outdoors. If you're wondering how large is this entertainment zone, the zone will span across the 1,200 to 1,400 blocks of the promenade between Wilshire and Broadway. And if you've ever walked 3rd Street Promenade, just think of 3rd Street Promenade. It's right there. And it's going to start next month, Fridays through Sundays from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. They don't say when exactly in June, but it will be Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday nights from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. If you plan to partake, you'll have a special wristband, and there will be, according to this, extra security presence to ensure people are drinking responsibly. Wink, wink. I don't know if this is going to bring back the nightlife. I honestly don't know.
I see this as LA looking at what other coastal and beach cities are doing to keep their nightlife alive. In South Beach, which we have both been to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All along South Beach.
That's a rumor.
They are sipping on humas
until 5 a.m.
And walking up and down the beach. Why not have LA with Venice Beach, Santa Monica Beach, Huntington Beach, all the beach cities and coastal areas? Why not have them also be able to participate and partake in adult beverage drinking while out and about?
Stefan, go ahead, and then I got a response to Twala.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, isn't South Beach the one where they'll serve
alcohol till 4, and then they'll just switch over to breakfast.
Yes, it's glorious.
Yes.
But there are also hotels there.
Yeah, that's true.
Which line the beach and also, I think it's Ocean Avenue, if I'm not mistaken. Collins and Ocean. The point is, it's a different topography. That's the only way I can describe it. When you're talking about 3rd Street Promenade, if you have been to both, you can compare both. You're only talking about maybe a handful of bars, a handful of restaurants, and there's not a long avenue for people to walk. They would stay in a relatively confined area, which is good, but it also suggests that it's not all that necessary.
Right now, we've got to read the tea leaves.
Okay.
This is forecasting. This is Santa Monica saying we will be the beta test in this. Because, again, what Santa Monica and 3rd Street Promenade is saying is our nightlife has died out. A lot of coastal towns here in Southern California are facing similar issues with not having a vibrant nightlife, even though they have these restaurants that they try to attract to the beaches and along the shores and stuff, so people can go hang out and party and do all that. But we're whack. Everything closes early. All this is tied into the leaving bars open later. All of that. They need LA to be at least competitive with Miami, with New York, where the bars don't shut down. They stop serving alcohol like 4 a.m. in New York. Why should we be any different?
I hear that and I understand that, and I'm also sympathetic to that for businesses to remain open. I don't know if there is such a thing as a social ethic. I don't know if LA fits that social ethic. I don't know if LA is an all-night town in the way that New York or Miami, Las Vegas is.
Vegas, yeah.
New York, the city that never sleeps. That means something. That's a real thing. In LA, we're so very spread out. We have these neighborhoods and pockets, not necessarily a unified city ethos. I don't know if that works. Maybe if you were to build up that 3rd Street Promenade district and it makes it a little more inviting and it caters more to that younger demographic, because we're not really talking about the 50 and up crowd. We don't want to deal with that.
No, we're not going.
But you also have to be ready for the inherent issues, because I've been in New York all night. I know what that leads to. I've been to Miami
all night.
I know what
that
leads to.
New Orleans all night.
Hello.
Been to a lot of places where you could drink all night.
All night.
But if you build it, they will come.
And look, and when they do, be ready.
Yes.
Be ready. And I don't disagree that this could be a way to economically revitalize 3rd Street Promenade. And that's the goal. I also and always think about the unintended consequences of doing so. The whole idea, hey, why don't we open a club, or why don't we have after hours until 4 a.m.? And it says, on paper, it sounds like a great idea until you actually see what it leads to. And I use this example all the time, and it's crass. I know it's chauvinistic, but damn it, I want to do it again. Everybody likes the idea of going to a lesbian club as a guy. In theory, the idea of it, okay? The reality for a heterosexual guy, let's see you rolling your eyes at me, Mark Runner.
No, please proceed. I want to hear where this goes.
I want to say it's not as sexy as you think it is.
I don't know, Mo. I'm just telling you.
Wait, you don't know the what? You're talking about the analogy or what?
The analogy, and if that really applies, because here in Southern California, we have quite possibly the most dead nightlife out of every metropolitan city in the country. We literally do, because we shut down where everywhere else, except for dry towns that no one goes to anyway, everywhere else stays open super late. They look at us like, what do you mean it's 2:00 and the club is shut?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's 1:00 you're doing last call?
I agree.
We suffer. LA is not a tourist destination for young people, for families. Yes.
No one has brought up the obvious. In all of these other towns that you talk about, they have kind of an embedded mass transit system.
Vegas is cab and Metro City.
But still.
Cabs and this and the other. We still have to build the infrastructure. Why do you think LA is going so hog wild with green lighting, self-driving autonomous taxis, and self-driving autonomous transportation vehicles?
You might those 1,200 who just got recalled?
Of those 1,200, none of those which are on the road, you mean? Which the
1,200 crashes?
Which the corrective it was not 1,200 crashes.
No. You weren't even honest enough to let us know about the crashes.
But, no, Mo, we're gonna get there. I'm telling you, it wasn't 1,200 crashes, Mo.
I didn't say it was
a series of crashes. A series of crashes into things like chains and going over, going through gates and stuff like that.
Couldn't pass a basic driving test.
But you know what they did, Mo? You know what they did? Since you want to go there, you know what they did?
Yeah.
They recalled 1,200 plus cars that needed the programming update. It was a programming update, and guess what? Those vehicles are back on the road.
Humans don't need programming updates.
Oh, they don't, Mark. They don't.
Humans need their driver's licenses taken away because you know what we do? We drive recklessly and we just kill each other. That's what we do, Mark.
We don't need extra killing, but what we do need is belligerent, violent drunks that can compete with any major metropolitan area in the world.
Hello. Thank you, Mark.
We are the only ones suffering. We're the only major metropolitan area that's not just making money hand over fist like everyone else is.
I will say this. 3rd Street Promenade wasn't always struggling. And when it wasn't struggling, it was not because they didn't have after hours or they didn't have the ability to walk around with your drinks for everyone. There is a way around this. I don't think it's going to yield the type of results that it hopes. I don't, I think they're trading one problem for another. Will it help business? Yeah. Will it help crime? Yeah. Will it help the issues of public drunkenness?
Hey, look, no one is skipping flights to Miami.
Miami and Santa Monica are not the same. The moment you got the Tide Hotel or the Marlin, you got women in thong bikinis walking around.
How are we not going to have that if we don't build it up? You have to have nice places for the thongs to go to. Where are the thongs going right now? Point. Right now, the thongs are stepping over feces and poop because they can't clean it up. You know what you do? You put some nice restaurants. You put some nice shoreline activities, bars, and all types of tiki stands and all that. And next thing you know, like Fu said, thong.
You know that 3rd Street Promenade is not that close to Santa Monica Beach.
No. I know that. What I'm saying is you have to have a beta testing area, a controlled environment to test the public drunkenness.
I wish the people could see the chat right now. Everyone's throwing up hearts and hundreds and smiley faces for thongs.
I'm trying to tell you, it's coming.
Huh?
I mean, it's about to
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Mark,
just get out of there. Get him out of there.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mr. Mo Kelly here. We're live on YouTube, iHeartRadio app, and Instagram Live. If you want to reach out, please do. We have a chat which is going back and forth. We're having all sorts of fun and sidebar conversations. Feel free to join in. And at the top of the show, I had made mention that we were going to talk about what is happening with Rite Aid. They are closing stores all around the country. And if you've been paying attention, they've really been disappearing here in Southern California. And I would go to Rite Aid fairly often if you needed something as far as prescription filled, or you needed something like toiletries, whatever. Rite Aid was the place to go. And then you had Amazon, and that pretty much put a lot of these places out of business. But also, folks like me went to Rite Aid when I was living in Harbor City. There was one right on the corner of it was PCH and Normandy Boulevard. Yeah, PCH in Vermont. And that's where I'd get my ice cream. Always cookies and cream. Always cookies and cream. It was on the way home. It was very close to my house. It was great. It was inexpensive. And then they shut that Rite Aid down. And I said, well, there's one more Rite Aid, which was then in my neighborhood. It was on Sepulveda Boulevard, 3800 block of Sepulveda in Torrance. If you live out in South Bay, you know exactly where that Rite Aid is. Was because Rite Aid is going to be closing down another 70 or so stores across the nation, but one of them, actually two of them here in California. There's a 3860 Sepulveda Boulevard in Torrance, which is going to be closed. and the 5075 Olivehurst Avenue in Olivehurst. I don't know where the hell that is.
I don't know where that is, but I think the first one is the one that I live next to.
Yeah. If you live in Torrance, you know that Rite Aid.
Yeah. It's right there. It's right next to the llama.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's pretty big.
Yes. And that's the place where I would stop and get my ice cream and that kind of thing. But they're closing it down. And look, I need someone to look up. I want to do it right now. Where the hell, that's what I'm Googling. Where the hell is Olivehurst?
Olivehurst is right over there. Near
In
Bensonhurst.
Yuba County. Yuba County.
Yes. Olivehurst, California. Yes. That's exactly where it is.
I'm sorry. I've been here 55 years. I have no idea about any Olivehurst.
Of course, because it's 6 hours away from where we are.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the Bay Area?
Okay. But I know Vallejo. I know San Jose.
Okay,
I know Stockton.
It's tucked in there. It's tucked right in there.
Very small city.
Clearly. Clearly. Like minuscule.
Yes.
Never heard of Olivehurst.
Population of 19,000. Oh, 71. 19,071.
Okay, Burbank has about 100,000. So put that in perspective. 19,000 is
It's a small town.
it's a neighborhood.
This is just part of your overall anti-olive pathology. You can't,
what it is.
you can't stand them on pizzas. You don't like towns named after them.
You know that our studios are on what avenue?
It must kill you to come into work every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Hate them olives. At least they didn't say Black Olivehurst.
It's implied.
Oh. Anyhow. No, don't you. I was trying to stop you. But the good news is only 2 Rite Aids in California are listed amongst these next closures. In Pennsylvania, they're closing like 20. No, actually 30 in Pennsylvania between Philadelphia and the different suburbs. 2 in New Hampshire, 2 in the state of New York, 8 in the state of Oregon, Virginia, 4. And Mark, they're closing 6 in the state of Washington.
They'll get by.
And I need you to help me with some of these cities in the state of Washington, whether you've heard of them.
Sure. What do you got?
There's Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie, yeah. That's up in the mountains by the pass.
Okay. See, you're somewhat useful. Kingston.
You got that. Well done.
Yelm.
Once again, well done.
Anacortes.
Anacortes.
Okay. Granite Falls.
You were all over that one.
What about Omak? Or is it Omak?
Omak, yeah. Well
See,
done.
I couldn't get that one right.
No, I just gave you a little push in the right direction.
Like off a cliff. These are all real cities, or are they like just small towns?
It's the range.
Okay.
I haven't been to all of them.
Yeah, like I haven't been to Olivehurst, but
You are destined to go to Olivehurst,
I don't think so.
and I want to play a
We
role
probably
in
know
that.
someone that's going to get married there somewhere. If we drive up there.
We've been to Fresno, so
And-
that's not far off.
And they're going to serve pizza for you there in Olivehurst, and you're going to love it.
It's time to go to break. I feel like I'm being mocked. I feel like I'm being
Never.
attacked.
No, we
Just
respect
because
you
I don't
too
like
much to mock
olives.
you.
Just because I don't like olives, green or black.
We had pizza this weekend with green and black olives on it.
That's a you problem, dog.
Oh, it was delicious.
Who had that?
Who actually gets pizza with both olive?
And why? Yeah.
It was good.
Type of weird
No,
pizza marriage. is
It
this?
wasn't. I just want to know why.
Wait a second. At 2, Tuala?
No, I'm
We
sorry.
have always been consistent on this
yeah,
one.
yeah. There's no love for one black olives personally. Period. I don't pizza in a jar, just in a store shelf. No. They should be banned.
No.
But
Yes.
you had also green olives on there.
Yeah.
Just multiple olives.
It was just a random substitution because I didn't want green peppers, and it was like fine on a combo pizza. It turned out to be magnificent.
No, it didn't.
And
Wow.
Why are you telling that lie?
I urge everyone listening to try
Don't
it.
urge
You know
Green
you're
and
lying.
black olives.
Don't
You
urge
know
that.
you're lying. No one in their right mind puts green and black olives on a pizza, ingest it, and say, "Oh, that was wonderful."
No, I'm too lazy to concoct a decent lie. It's 100% the truth.
Maybe you have no taste. Have you ever considered that?
Not for one instant. No, it was delicious, and I brought some into work on Monday because I wanted to have it a second day.
Can we get pizza?
No, Mark just killed it. Lori Coleman on the YouTube chat says, "Yuck, no olives. Sorry, Mark." Stephen Mangrum says, "Question: Not even black olives on enchiladas, Tuala?
No, I really don't like them. No,
Either do I.
no.
I'll pick those out in a heartbeat.
I will.
Heartbeat. Henry Uchiyama says Pick and Save is better, going back to Rite Aid. They do kind of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick and Save doesn't sell ice
They're
cream.
long gone.
Yeah.
And I would make a decision to go to Rite Aid because I wanted ice cream and I didn't want to just go for ice cream. So I'm like, you know what? While I'm here, I'll get some toilet paper, some cup of noodles, some
In my
bar
head,
soap.
in my head as a kid, thrifty just meant ice cream.
That's
Yes.
what I meant, yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mario says Rite Aid is my pharmacy, and that's where I usually buy my alcohol, which kind of goes hand in hand.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
And they have a good
Self-medicating.
alcohol selection.
Oh, they have a very nice alcohol
Yes.
selection. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Is booze cheaper at a pharmacy?
No, I don't know about
I don't know
cheaper,
if it's-
It's just
but
they
in a
have
pinch,
better selection.
it was better than going to the liquor store. That's for sure.
They definitely have more.
They
definitely have more,
and there isn't a
An
hobo
element.
standing
Yes,
outside.
yes,
But I would say cheaper than a liquor store.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So be sure to check out the YouTube chat. You can engage us there. We'll respond, as you can see and hear there. You can engage us in the Instagram Live on that chat as well. So we're going to keep it going. When we come back, we have to talk about this Southern California DoorDash driver who is trying to cheat the company out of $2.5 million. And when I tell you about it, you'll realize they almost got away with it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mr. Mo Kelly here. We're live on YouTube, the iHeartRadio app, and Instagram Live. And I've never been all that high on DoorDash. There's something about people doing shopping for me, picking my food, choosing my food items. It's never sat well with me. And when I read stories like this, it just makes it even more difficult for me to use a company like DoorDash. Nothing personal, DoorDash. I'm just saying I have my issues. But a Newport Beach man has pleaded guilty, in fact, yesterday, to conspiring to steal more than $2.5 million from DoorDash. His name, I can't really pronounce it.
Take a stab at that name. I had to go slow.
Okay. It's four names. Sayi Chaitanya Reddy Devagiri.
Yeah.
Or some approximation of that. 30 years old. Admitted he worked with several others in a scheme to cause DoorDash to pay for deliveries that never occurred. He's facing 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. Here's how it worked, or almost worked. This crew of people created fake customer and driver accounts. First, they would charge high-dollar orders to customer accounts. Then, using the credentials of the employee they were working with, they would manually reassign orders to driver accounts that they controlled. Let me just put a parenthetical here. The moment they use their own employee credentials or someone's employee credentials, it's created a digital trail which led back to them. That was probably one of their main mistakes. But anyhow, the fake driver accounts would report the status of the fictitious orders as delivered, causing a payment to go through to those driver accounts. They would then further manipulate DoorDash's software to toggle the status of the fake orders from delivered to in process. From there, they'd reassign the order to another driver account they controlled. This triggered multiple payments on an individual non-existent order. In other words, they'd have an order delivered, fake order delivered. It would show delivered to get paid. Then they would toggle it back to in progress. And then it'd be delivered again. And it would get paid again. And they toggle it back to in process. And they kept doing it over and over and over again. And it was repeated hundreds of times for many of the orders. There were 5 people around the same age who were charged, but it's not clear whether they knew each other. But clearly, if I could pronounce the names, you would see that they probably knew each other on some level. On some level. They have a court date of July 22nd. And I just remember from my time on a federal grand jury, this type of fraud, oh, they've got you. Oh, they've got you. They have all the digital evidence that they need. They have the trail of it, and it's going to lead back to them individually and collectively. And it's just a matter of whether they want to avoid the 20 years in prison, which means trying to find some sort of plea deal. That's the only way out. Otherwise, they will do that time, and they'll do all of that time. Get better schemes. I mean, it wasn't a bad scheme, but it was always going to lead back to you because of the digital trail. what I want to know is who possibly worked at DoorDash or with DoorDash close enough to learn about their back end procedures to know that they could do this. They probably had some inside help. I don't think they figured this out all on their own as an end user.
Does this make you hesitant to use DoorDash?
I was always hesitant anyhow. This just gave me another reason not to use it, because it seems like if it's that easy to game the system, not only am I concerned about some random person doing shopping for me, I need to worry about my account being compromised or used in some sort of felonious way that I'd have to end up paying for.
We were talking about this last night because all of us are so easily suggestible when it comes to food. We decided we wanted tacos, and that's what shut it down. We're not going to use like Uber Eats or DoorDash.
I've done it on occasion. I've used Uber Eats, I want to say maybe 5 or 6 times. No, maybe 7 or 8 times, but not a lot. And then the surcharges have been more and more, seemingly higher and higher. And I said, I don't need to do this. It's not actually adding any convenience, and it's costing more. I'll just get my ass in the car.
It's really meant for if you are like too inebriated to drive. That's what it's meant for. Because it is so expensive.
It really is. And you don't even see it until you like get your food. It's like, wait a minute, I thought I was only paying like $23. No, it's $37.
Yeah,
it's like whoa.
Cheeseburger and fries cost you like $9 after the whole every service charge. You're paying like $30.
That seems insane to me. Like, unless you're a transplant surgeon, nobody's that busy.
Nobody is. But it wasn't always that expensive, especially during the pandemic. It was actually reasonable because a lot of businesses, they gave discounts, there were coupons.
They depended on them.
Yeah, they needed that type of business. And so during the pandemic, it made a whole lot more sense. Now it doesn't make any sense, not financially. It's not as much, you're not saving money, you're not saving time really, because it still takes an inordinate amount of time for your order to get in and also get your food back to you depending on where you're living. So
I've just never been in that kind of position. And also, let's just be honest, I'm a cheapskate. I just haven't had that kind of money to burn. Like, if you want something to eat, pay twice as much as it's worth so somebody will bring it to you. No, absolutely not.
Look, I mean, we'll get food here and we'll get pizza delivered, but that's about as far as we'll go. For the most part, we'll have Tuala go out and get the food. But we're not ordering DoorDash, not to my knowledge.
Tacos sound really good right now.
Yeah, go ahead, Stefan. We'll mind the board for you.
Yeah, could you
go watch it?
Pick us up some tacos, please?
Tell Tuala.
Okay. KFI AM 640, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
I don't know what you're thinking, and I kind of like that. Keeps it fun.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio.